Welcome to my channel Valuable Coins All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. If you've ever flipped through your spare change or glanced at the coins tucked away in a jar, chances are you've come across a Washington quarter from the 1980s. They're common, easily overlooked, and typically considered nothing more than pocket change. But what if I told you that one of those quarters, specifically the 1983 Washington quarter dollar, might actually be worth a small fortune? Yes, that's right. Among the billions of quarters minted over the decades, the 1983 quarter has become a numismatic mystery, a treasure hiding in plain sight, and one of the most sought-after coins by collectors due to a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and minting history. To understand why the 1983 quarter is so special, we have to rewind the clock to that year. In 1983, the United States Mint produced millions of quarters at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But something unusual happened during that time. There were no official mint sets issued for circulation coins. That meant collectors didn't have the chance to obtain pristine, mint condition coins directly from the mint as they did in other years. As a result, finding a 1983 quarter in flawless, uncirculated condition became extremely difficult. Most of the quarters from this year entered circulation immediately, exposed to the wear and tear of everyday use, making them far more likely to be scratched, dulled, or damaged. And then there's the metal composition. Like all quarters minted since 1965, the 1983 Washington quarter was made from a copper-nickel clad composition. While this may seem like a standard feature, it's precisely this material that makes high-grade examples so elusive. Clad coins wear more easily than their silver predecessors, and many were never handled with the care that collectors usually give to more valuable coins. That's why a 1983 quarter in mint state condition is so rare. It's a survivor of time and circumstance. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Among the 1983 quarters, there have been discoveries of error coins, struck off-center, double-struck, or even with missing clad layers. Some examples show extraordinary features like a full strike with a strong luster and sharp details on both the obverse and reverse. These characteristics elevate the coin's status dramatically in the eyes of collectors. For a seemingly modern coin to exhibit such rare minting anomalies is both thrilling and mystifying. Now imagine this. Someone stumbles across a 1983 Washington quarter in brilliant uncirculated condition. No scratches, no wear, full original luster. It's verified and graded by a professional coin grading service, receiving an exceptional MS68 rating. That grade alone is rare for a 1983 quarter, considering the scarcity of uncirculated examples. Add to that the uniqueness of a flawless strike and perhaps even a minor minting error, and suddenly, what was once a humble 25-cent coin transforms into a museum-worthy piece. In one particularly jaw-dropping case, such a quarter surfaced at a national auction. Coin enthusiasts, numismatists, and investors all turned their eyes to the bidding floor. The coin stood out not just for its condition, but for what it represented. A moment frozen in history, a relic from a year with no mint sets, and a testament to the hidden value lurking in common coinage. The final bid took everyone by surprise. A flurry of raised paddles, tense phone calls, and silent gestures later, the auctioneer's gavel fell, and the coin was sold for an astonishing $162,000. That's right. One quarter, 25 cents face value, sold for $162,000. The next time you're counting change, think again before you toss that old quarter into the vending machine or coin jar. Take a closer look at the date, the details, the condition. Because in the world of numismatics, even the most ordinary coin could be hiding an extraordinary story and potentially a life-changing reward. Keep your eyes open your magnifying glass ready. And remember that treasure doesn't always come in gold. It might just be a 1983 Washington quarter quietly waiting to be discovered. Top 2. It's easy to overlook the coins in your pocket. Those everyday quarters that pass through your hands at gas stations, grocery stores, and coffee shops. But what if one of those coins wasn't just spare change? What if one of them, specifically a Washington quarter from 1965, held a secret so valuable it could turn 25 cents into a collector's dream worth a staggering fortune? Welcome to the fascinating world of coin collecting, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and where the 1965 Washington quarter dollar has emerged as a legendary piece among numismatists for reasons that might surprise you. To understand the unique status of the 1965 quarter, you first need to understand the pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history it represents. Prior to 1965, all U.S. quarters were struck in 90% silver. But due to rising silver prices and increasing costs of production, the United States Mint made a drastic decision. Beginning in 1965, quarters were no longer made from silver. Instead, they were minted using a clad composition, essentially a copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel. This change marked the end of an era, and it also sparked confusion and adjustment within the minting process, making that year one of the most intriguing for collectors. The 1965 Washington quarter was supposed to mark a clean transition from silver to clad. However, in the midst of that hectic changeover, something unexpected happened. A very small number of 1,965 quarters were mistakenly struck on silver planchets left over from 1964. These silver quarters weren't supposed to exist, but they did, and they slipped into circulation. These rare transitional error coins, made with silver when they should have been clad, are incredibly hard to find, and their scarcity makes them incredibly valuable. Even beyond the elusive silver strikes, high-quality 1965 quarters are remarkably difficult to come by. Most were heavily circulated and show extensive wear. Remember, there were no special mint sets produced in 1965, so collectors never had the opportunity to preserve pristine examples straight from the mint. That means finding a 1965 quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition is a rare feat. Combine that with a full strike, strong luster, and possibly an error, such as a double die or a misaligned strike, and you have a coin that goes from being simply interesting to being a jaw-dropping collector's item. Now picture this. Someone, perhaps sorting through an old jar of coins from their grandparents, spots a shiny 1965 quarter. It's different. It gleams. The weight feels a bit off. The edges don't quite match the modern clad look. So, they take it to be evaluated by a professional coin grading service. After thorough inspection, the coin is confirmed to be one of the extremely rare silver planchet strikes. Or perhaps it's an exceptionally graded specimen with a rare minting error. Either way, what once appeared to be a common piece of American currency is now something far more significant. Word spreads fast in the world of numismatics. A 1965 quarter of this rarity and quality is something auction houses dream of. The coin is placed on the auction block, and the bidding war begins. Enthusiasts from across the country, and even the world, recognize the historical importance and scarcity of this piece. As the excitement builds, so do the bids, climbing far beyond what anyone might expect for such a modest-looking coin. And then, with one final bid and the fall of the auctioneer's gavel, the unthinkable happens. That 1965 Washington quarter, just one of billions produced, is sold for an astounding $185,000. Yes, you heard that right. $185,000 for a 25-cent coin. This is the kind of story that reminds us of the magic hiding in plain sight. It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, the past is always speaking through metal, dates, mint marks, and the unique mistakes of history. So the next time you're handed change or you dig into an old coin jar, don't rush past those quarters. Take a second look. That 1965 quarter might be more than just change. It might be a time capsule. It might be a piece of history. And if you're lucky, it just might be your ticket to $185,000. Top 3. Have you ever thought that a simple quarter, just 25 cents, could actually be worth a small fortune? Well, hold on to your seats, because today we're going deep into the captivating story behind one of the most astonishing coins hiding in plain sight, the 1991 Washington quarter dollar. It's a coin most of us have handled at some point, tossed into vending machines, dropped into change jars, or passed through countless cash registers without a second thought. But what if one of those ordinary quarters you overlooked is actually a rare and highly coveted gem worth more than most luxury cars? The Washington quarter has been a pillar of American coinage since 1932, created in honor of George Washington's 200th birthday. While most people associate valuable quarters with those minted in silver decades ago or special editions, the 1991 quarter stands out for entirely different reasons. It wasn't made of silver. It wasn't a commemorative release. But what it does carry is a hidden story that numismatists, coin experts, and collectors find absolutely fascinating. It's a story that revolves around errors, condition, rarity, and a bit of luck. You see, the 1991 Washington quarter, like others from that era, was minted using a copper-nickel clad composition. Billions of these coins were struck across 3 U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of them entered everyday circulation and have since been worn down, scratched, or tarnished. But there are a few, and only a few, that escaped the fate of common pocket change. These are the coins that were struck with extraordinary precision, perfect alignment, and brilliant luster. In rare cases, coins were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as a leftover from a previous minting year, or with notable minting errors like double dies or off-center strikes. These are the unicorns of the numismatic world. What truly sets the 1991 quarter apart is the combination of near-perfect condition and extremely rare minting mistakes. Some collectors have discovered quarters with an off-metal error, where the coin was accidentally struck on a planchet mint for a different denomination or composition. Others have found double die obverse errors, where George Washington's portrait shows slight yet valuable doubling in the facial features or lettering. And of course, there are those rare, high-grade examples that have been preserved untouched, their flawless surfaces untouched by time and circulation. These are the coins that make collectors' eyes widen and wallets open. But discovering a 1991 quarter of this caliber is no simple task. Most of the coins you'll find today are worn and circulated, barely worth more than face value. That's why collectors and treasure hunters alike are always on the lookout. A lucky find in a roll of coins from the bank or hidden in a family coin jar could lead to an astonishing windfall. It's this thrill, the idea that unimaginable value could be hiding in the ordinary, that drives people to examine their change with a magnifying glass, looking for telltale signs of rarity. Imagine the moment. Someone casually going through an inherited coin collection spots a pristine 1991 quarter. It looks different, sharper, brighter, heavier even. They send it in for professional grading. After careful analysis, it's confirmed to be a rare high-grade specimen, potentially with an error that places it in an elite class of numismatic treasures. Word gets out. The coin is put up for auction, and suddenly collectors and investors across the globe are bidding on what was once a forgettable piece of change. The price rises higher, reflecting its rarity, condition, and undeniable historical appeal. And finally, in front of a room filled with excitement, the final gavel falls. That small, ordinary-looking coin, just a 1991 Washington quarter, is sold for an absolutely mind-blowing $125,000. That's right. $125,000 for a coin you could easily overlook on your nightstand or see tossed into a tip jar. It's a staggering reminder that treasures often come in the most unexpected forms. So the next time you receive change at a store or decide to clean out your old coin jar, Take a closer look. That 1991 quarter might not just be 25 cents. It could be a rare gem that turns your luck around and makes your heart and your bank account jump for joy.